Okay, so I'm here with Kim Kershaw. Kim is an online trainer. And
Mhm.
Kim, I just wanted to ask you, like, before we start working together, like, where were you at in your business?
Everything had grinded to a halt, man. Honestly, when I started this, online coaching, I had like almost like beginner's luck a little bit, whereas like, things was going well. I made close to 70,000 my first year. Coming out of COVID, and then after that, things just slowed up. I think because I wasn't keeping up with the algorithm on Instagram. I wasn't nurturing any leads. I wasn't DMing anybody. I didn't understand ads. My organic post was stale. I'm talking about like regurgitating, you know, prior year stuff that wasn't working before, and now it's not working even more. So yeah, my business, wasn't having a lot of calls. Next to zero. I would have maybe one like every 2 months or two every 2 months or something like that. And it was tough, man. But I knew I wanted to make it full time. So and I knew I wanted to invest in my business. So that's when I made sure to, tap in with Nick here.
So yeah, man, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm curious, like, what made you want to work together?
Oh man, I actually love telling this story, but yeah. So I'm part of a group called HET by Brandon Carter,
Mhm.
and of course I follow some of the top trainers. Some of them did weekly calls. Some of them were just doing well, right? So I stumbled upon one of the guys. His name is Corey Armstrong. That's in HET. He was doing well, like the style of posting and everything, and I kind of mimicked that at the beginning, the way he was doing it, or try my best. And then I saw him switch up, right? He had like 10K followers, and then I just saw his followers start to grow. I saw the way he was posting start to grow, or change up. So I was like, damn, though, how can I get that? And it took me a while, right? Sometimes I'm slow to it, with the change, but what I ended up doing was I actually reached out to him to ask who he was, how he was doing his posts. He said his social media team was doing it. So I needed a better answer than that. So what I did was scroll down his profile for like, I don't know, for a while, and I stumbled across Nick's profile, and I reached out. I was like, if this guy is handling his Instagram and causing him to, scale his business, I was like, I want a piece of that action.
Yeah, no, I feel that. And so where we got to was 108 calls and 14 weeks of working together, right? The first 14 weeks.
Yeah, man. So this actually started. I think I reached out to Nick late last year, and we got started in January, so around
Mhm.
mid-January, and he put together a package, work with him and his team. Whereas all of a sudden, I went from one call or two calls every 2 months, then I was getting 4 or 5 calls a week, and over the course of the first, what was it, 12 weeks? You said,
Yeah,
yeah,
14, it
12 weeks.
was 108, yeah, I think.
Yeah, 108 calls. So I didn't even know how to. That's how far back I was. I didn't even know how to check it, or I wasn't even checking how many calls I had until Nick asked me.
Mhm.
So like, what I learned through Nick is like you really got to check those numbers. So went checked, saw I had like over 100 calls within those weeks, and that was more than I had even when I was making that 70K in that first year. So it was truly amazing, and it's still ongoing right now as far as using the same um, skill set and still
Mhm.
using the same tactics.
hmm Yeah, for sure. So I'm curious, like, what do you think was the biggest help in working with me and my team? Like, why do you think we were able to get you from where you were before to that
Yeah,
benchmark?
I think it's simple. You just know what you're doing. Like you study how social media and online training, online coaching works. One thing you implemented immediately was having a lead magnet, which is my free ebook, which is amazing. So getting people to read that, provide value for them, and build trust with your audience. That was huge. And then being able to coach me, that's unofficially, right? So you were telling me like how many people I needed to DM, how I needed to follow up. You were teaching me the organic way, like how many times a week we wanted to post, how to do the hooks. I didn't know how to do the hooks. I didn't know how to do thumbnails. I didn't know videos, the CTAs at the end of the video, even the way. you guys framed everything as far as like putting together the transcripts and the wording, was something I kind of looked into. I'm like, yo, that's completely different from how I would have gone about it, but it makes sense why it works. So I think you and your team were able to really, hone in on what works, and providing value for your audience, and not only organic but also push me through the pay traffic, be able to get lead generation off that. So my followers doubled since the beginning of the year. Right, we're halfway through the year and they doubled. So it's truly amazing. And even I think we joked about this, but Nick had asked me, like, how many people that view your story on a daily basis. I showed him like it was like 11 or something like that.
Yeah, and you were like 6K followers. Like I was just astounded.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a lot of good following going on. But now I showed them recently how we got to like the 100 to 150 range of people viewing
Hmm.
my stories. And even that, just as far as being omnipresent and having people view your stuff, it is great because now, I'm sticking in their mind. They're paying attention a lot more than they were before.
Hmm. Yeah, so the followers doubled, your story views 10x, your call level like literally 50x. Or like let's just say 25 because you're saying two every 2 months. So it's like what? Two every 2 months is like 12 to okay, so 10x, yeah, 10x calls. So
Oh yeah,
and that was basically because we were doing your organic content and your ads, and I was getting on calls with you and kind of working with you that way. Why do you
yeah.
think us doing like a done for you system was more effective than like a do it yourself or a done with you program?
Oh man, like doing yourself works at the beginning, right? Like, and
Hmm.
it takes a lot of time to understand it. And then it's just like working out, like it's trial and error, and it takes up so much time. And I know that from my experience that year of just not getting any calls is just like shit just don't be working sometimes. So like you got to tap into somebody that knows what they're doing.
Hmm.
So I think when we originally spoke, I was caught between another do it yourself and done for you, which is you.
Hmm.
And I was like, I'm just tired of doing it myself. So I think that being able to sit back and just focus on
Hmm.
sales went a long way as being able to focus my time. You guys put together everything for me, and it was made my life so much easier. Maybe even to hang out with my family more because you guys are handling stuff. Even seeing posts go up, like I was like, I don't even know when the posts are going up, but but it's cool. I'm
Yeah.
watching like everybody else. Um, but it was amazing seeing that, right? Because
Hmm.
it made me appreciate how much time I was saving and how much more value I was providing, my subscribers and my followers on Instagram. So I think it just saves so much time, and it was definitely worth the money. Like
Hmm.
there's absolutely no regret. The only regret is me being able to close more sales.
Yeah. Which we're working on. We're working on because it's one of those things that, like you said right at the beginning before COVID hit, and you just kind of were getting beginner's luck. Sometimes when that happens, people can subconsciously take their foot off the gas and not adjust and adapt as quickly as they need to, which is something that we talked about, right? Like introducing a low ticket offer now, given the fact that a lot of people don't want to pay the high ticket, and just having different tiers that you're still bringing revenue in. But it's not
Yeah,
like you don't hate yourself, right? Like it's not like, oh, I'll do it, I'll do like a $50 one. You fucking hate your life. Like that's
yeah,
not worth
yeah.
it.
Hell nah. But yeah, it's just like also just you've made me focus on like just paying attention to kind of what's going on
Hmm.
in the industry, right? Like don't get caught up on just because it did work, it's gonna work now. Like like keep thinking about like the changes that are going on and kind of learn how to implement that yourself too.
Hmm. No, for sure, man. I guess if there's anybody who was interested in working with me and my team and they're on the fence, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to jump right in, honestly, because like first of all, every decision is not final, right? So
Hmm.
like I feel like experimenting and jumping in, even if you're unsure with Nick and his team,
Hmm.
um, you get so much value immediately from it because since you work with people that have made 50 to 100K a month, I mean, I'm
Hmm.
talking people's salaries, like, and you were that lead person in that, um, why not, right? Like, why not save
Yeah.
yourself some time and make more money, right? And save yourself some time, and
Hmm.
then you make more money, right? Like, and you always have somebody to bounce ideas off of too, right? You're not just sitting in your own head, which I was doing before. But you have
Hmm.
somebody that could really, help coach you and understand like what a marketing and the sales process and how to maneuver through that. So I think, if you jump right in, extract some value from it and learn as you go, like it's going to provide lifelong value. Like your page is going to start looking like the official, online trainers out there with millions of followers, right? Like if you
Hmm.
want that package and you want, qualified leads and you want your page to look clean and,
Hmm.
be able to scale, I think Nick's the way to go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Kim, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And yeah, guys,
Absolutely.
if you want to check him out on Instagram, he's at Crushed Workouts, and check the description below to see the links of how you can work with me. And if you want my free guide showing you how I did everything with my other clients as well. See you guys in the next video.